Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got another late model fixed series race for you here, week 11 at Richmond
Pit lane speed
Raceway.
limit is
Going
40
out
miles
for
per hour.
qualifying.
Track's clear. Push, push, push.
Running a bit
Okay,
of a
Jake, we've
midday
got
race.
2
I'm
laps to
guessing
get the
I'm
job
going to
done.
be probably somewhere in the middle of the pack. Didn't even look to see where I came at. I think it's going to be a single split most likely. So just looked like a couple fast guys that would be in here, and then kind of a drop off from there. So probably going to find myself in that weird, awkward middle area, but certainly going to do what I can. Lap 1's not going to be very good. Getting the car way too loose through turn 1 just did not slow it down enough. Yeah, just going to do what I can. Have not really gotten a good handle on the setup this week for how to drive it fast. I mean, I kind of understand how to run Richmond. I just have not been able to lay down fast times that everybody else is. So
P5.
just see what it is. 5th right now. I guess let's just get started on the inside. But we'll have to see if I can improve that all and work my way up to 3rd. Obviously would be the most ideal situation. Coming to the line, lap time's definitely going to improve. Is it going to be enough to move me up?
P5.
3rd. Okay, sweet. So it did split. Wow, really small field then, only 9 cars. I guess they split it into 2 instead of running 18. Huh. So yeah, really going to be in the middle. Car number 4 in this. I did run a little bit of a difference for the setup for the first. For qualifying, ran 10-1 instead of the default 12-1. Also moved the offset all the way down to -10 just for my own comfort with the wheel. Gonna move this back to 14 just because I'm terrible on tires here. I know 10 or 12-1 is probably going to be the better option, but for me personally, right now with where my driving's at, 14 is the better one. 50% for brake biased all the way back, and going to get paints refreshed. Get gridded up here in just a moment. So yeah, starting on the inside, I'll take that.
The track temp is 79
Likely not
Fahrenheit.
going to
P3.
be. I don't know. It could still be a good race even with 9 cars. I wish there was more that had entered. 18 could have been pretty crazy here, but could have been for fun, race. I guess I understand the limits with, on the smaller tracks, but wish there was a way they could change it based on, the track size, because probably could have gotten away with 18 here and been okay. So I think the 2 and the 1 are just going to be absolutely gone. Let's look at qualifying times really quick. I was almost 2/10 off of the 2. Obviously didn't really get a very good lap in for what I felt like I could do. I don't think I can get to the pace of either one of them, though. The 6 is going to be pretty close on the outside. He probably will be able to pick it up some, too. And then we're about a 10th faster than the 3. And then there's another 10th and a half there. So it's a bit of a skill gap, or a speed difference, amongst the top 5 or top 6. So I feel like if I can drive clean, not get into really any problems or overdrive the car, not burn up the tires too much the first half of the race, I feel like a 3rd place finish is reasonable. I don't see it really being any worse than 4th. We'll just have to see how it goes. Gonna take it easy, save the tires. Just more or less not to be able to make a run at the 1 or the 2, but to be able to try to pull away from everybody else behind. And maybe I'll get lucky that the 1 and 2 will get into a heated battle at some point and make contact and can pick up a free position that way. So, gonna be happy with probably 5th or better. Really would like to be in 3rd if possible, so gonna be getting ready to go here. 35 laps should go fairly quick. Pace car is going to be pulling off in just a minute.
All right, Jake, get ready.
2's off and rolling.
Go.
Just going to stay to the inside. 1's got a better jump, so got to let him down in. 9's working inside of the... Or 3's working the inside of the 9, excuse me. Sorry about that. 1 and 2 are battling side by side. 1 comes way down low to almost got into the wall off of turn 2. 1's going to pull by the 2 to take the lead on the first lap. 2's going to let him go. Those 2 are going to get settled in. Got a little bit of a gap ahead of the 9. Time to just follow these guys, try to go to school, see what exactly they're doing for a line. turn 1 and 2 is where I really seem to be messing it up compared to everybody else, so 9's pulling away from the 3. Not sure if the 3's just off on pace or if the 9's got the... the 9's pushing too hard on tires.
23.14. The guy ahead has just done a 23.23.
Shaping up exactly how I thought it would in terms of 1 and 2 just checking out from all of us, and then me kind of being in this little middle gap. So I guess the 3rd place will look decent on the stats. Obviously not going to be worth a ton. The strength of field, well, the strength of field might not be as bad as if we had a single split, but obviously the number of cars is going to affect that. But obviously I don't race for points. Would like to be a little more competitive. Just barely grazed the wall coming out of turn 2. Got to be a little more careful about that so that I don't get any incident points. Gap's opening up back to the 9. His gap on the 3 is also opening up. 2's falling back from the 1 a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get to him. I feel like I'm taking it pretty easy on the tires, maybe a little bit too hard there into turn 3, but overall not too bad. Just got to try to keep consistent laps if I can while still being easy on the tires. Try not to drive it too hard into turn 1. It's an easy spot to either loop it or wear out the right front. And the same way with turn 3, especially with turn 3 being the tighter radius corner. He's trying to close the gap back up to the 1. Our gap's stabilized with the 9 behind. He's pulled away from the 3, so looks like my prediction of 3rd or 4th's probably going to hold true unless something crazy happens. And honestly, I feel like 3rd is mine to keep. Gap's 0.7 back, 2.4 back to the 5, who's gotten by the 3, and 1.1 ahead of the 2. Oh, almost get the wall, had to bring it off. Looked like the 9 might have done the same as well. It's got to be a little bit better about when I pick up the throttle out of turn 2 to avoid that kind of problem. Lap times are still pretty consistent. 2 seems to be about a 10th faster than me. He gets a little loose there into turn 1. It's going to allow the 1 to pull away from him a little bit. It's just going to keep us about even, it looks like. Trying to pull away from the 9 so that really can just focus on the 2 and see if I can get there. If I can keep the gap consistent with the 2, I'll be pretty happy about that. At least I'll feel like I was, you know, the 2nd fastest car on the track. A little bit too much throttle there, a little too much wheel coming out of the corner, slid the right front a little too much. Just need to wait on it just a little bit more to be a bit kinder to it. We are 10 down though and 25 to go. Really the gap to the 2 and the gap back to the 9 are all staying pretty consistent. Seems like we're all running about the same lap times now. One's just checking out. Don't think we should really see too many problems given the 9 car field. I grazed the wall there on the front stretch going into turn 1. That's going to cost time to the 2. It's also going to allow the 9 to come up just a little bit. Thankfully, not even an instant point out of it. Just me being stupid, getting too close to the wall there. But it's not really going to give me that much time. 1.3 to the 2. Like I said, I don't think I'm really going to be able to close that 1.3 down unless somehow the 2's really burning up tires, which with me doing something stupid like that, it's easily going to be my fault. Just got on the throttle too hard. Slammed the right front. There goes the 0x because I was a flat out idiot. Allowed the 2 to pull away, allowed the 9 to close up. Hopefully the car's not hurt too bad with that. Just got to get it down a little bit lower, rotate it a little bit more, wait a little bit longer on the throttle. So unfortunately, 1 check out of my goals is not going to happen for this race, but I'll fix it. I'll do better.
That lap was at 23.61.
Just gotta eliminate these unforced errors if I want to take a step in the next direction to being able to contend with better guys. See how bad the lap time is this time by. Certainly looks like it's fallen off a bit.
Okay, Jake, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
Yeah, it's probably half a tenth off of where it should be. Got the 7 who's a lap down coming back onto the track. Contacts allowing the 9 to close up a little bit. Looks like he might even be gaining on us, so yeah, I'll just have to see what happens.
Your lap time was at 23.58.
I'd be pretty angry if
The gap behind is
I
now
lose third because of my own
0.80.
stupidity there. Gonna try to drive my best to see if I can pull away from him. 7 gets out of the way, thank you to him, very respectful. 2 had a bit of an issue, we close up 1/10 on him.
Your last lap time was at 23.57.
Just trying to do the best I can to let the car roll through. 1, a little bit more weight on it. 2, get the wall again because I picked it up too hard. Looked like the 9 also did the same thing. I just... not having a good race. Not having a good race at all. But this is what allows you guys to see growth, not just the good ones, but the bad ones too.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
Shows you what not to do if you try to eliminate the mistakes that I make. Looked like the 9 had some problems back there. We were able to pull away. That gap's almost to 1.5 seconds. Gap grew back to 1.7 to the 2. It stayed pretty consistent that way. Didn't feel like I drove that last lap the best despite staying off the wall. Just gotta wait a little bit longer to pick up the throttle, make sure I keep it off the wall. It's gonna be a bit slower, but overall will be faster and keep me out of trouble. Two pulls away a little bit.
The gap behind is now 1.33.
A little bit over halfway, 20 down, 15 to go. The lift again to make sure I didn't get into the wall because I'm just picking up the throttle way too early out of turn 2. Just need to make a better adjustment on the fly to avoid doing that. 2 pulled away, 9 closed up.
That last lap was at 23.
Gotta drive my best right now to make sure that I don't lose third. Pretty boring race, sorry about that from an entertainment perspective. Certainly not like the B-Class fixed race at Auto Club was. Both cars are, one's pulling away, one's closing up. I'm just counting down the laps, hanging on, trying to get to the finish as best as I can. Thankfully, no real pressure. 3 was able to get back by the 5. So if the 9 does get by us, I mean, I still feel like a 4th place should be pretty reasonable there. 2's just absolutely checking out from us. I think I might have worn out the tires a bit too much as well on top of the damage. And he must have been doing a better job saving. So right now it's all about survival mode, trying to minimize how much the 9's catching me. .2 to the 2, 1.0 to the 9. .11 to go, 10 to go this time by. Able to maintain the gap with the 2, 9 closed up, a 10th that time. I can keep him from getting much more than a 10th a lap. I should be able to hang on to it. Well, doing dumb stuff like that's not going to help. I really got to stay off that wall. I've just been pounding that thing. I'm determined to knock that wall down by the end of this race. Absolutely determined to knock that wall down by the end of this race.
Car in front is Wagner.
I don't know. I mean, I've driven bad lately, but I feel like this race is just so bad. funny thing is I'm normally not this bad in terms of driving over walls or anything in the late model, so not sure what's going on today. Hopefully it's just an off day or anomaly than, you know, permanent change. Certainly something I really need to focus on improving for next week. No matter what series I run, obviously gotta just can't do that kind of stuff. That's only gonna get me into more trouble. Seven to go, just under a second back to the 9. Trying to do my best to stay in front of them. Certainly whacking the wall in turn 2 is not helping that case at all. Fortunate enough for all the times I've whacked to not have more than a 2x out of it, so just my own sheer stupidity. Good thing it's not real life either, because this would be an expensive race, bringing a damaged car back home and having to fix all of it. I feel like I'm overdriving turn 3 a bit. Five to go this time.
23.75. The gap behind is now 0.83.
9's definitely closing, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time if I can keep myself from making any mistakes. Although there was one that just gave it to him at the lift because I was about to drill the wall this time out of turn 4. Not a normal spot that I've done that this race. Overshoot turn 1 a little bit there. Trying to give it to the 9, trying to give him a chance at 3rd. Don't really want to, just not been a good last lap. But get it back in line. Trying to bring it back to what I know I can run.
You've just done a 23.80.
Just making sure I wait long enough. Still got on a little too early. Right front's gotta be gone. I'm sure if I look at the percentage afterwards, it's gonna be really, really bad. 2 to go. Laps can't end fast enough. Just over a half a second gap back to the 9.
You've just done a 23.84.
Certainly don't feel like the 3rd place car. I feel like it was probably far worse than that. Just got the benefit of a pretty big gap in skill for this field. Should have been 35 easy clean laps, and unfortunately was not that case, so couldn't give you guys much in the way of racing action, but could give you a lot in a what not to do tutorial for late models of Richmond. Taught you though that the turn 2 wall is pretty durable, and it's going to take a lot to take that wall down in these cars. Be able to hang on to 3rd. I mean, like I said, the finish is going to look decent on paper, but
well done. Decent drive.
Does not feel good at all. It's just not a good finish. Not a good drive by me. I was lucky enough to get out of that with a 3rd, so yeah, let's take a look at the tires. Whew. 85, 84, really did not expect to see that. Thought I tore up that right front more, so it was just honestly me just not driving the line well. Just was picking it up way too early. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like I said, nice to have finished out the race in 3rd, be able to keep it there. Everybody was really, the closest battle was between the 4 and I. Everybody else was pretty spread out for the most part. Just a different feel that way, so not sure what happened to the 6 that he didn't show up, so let's go take a look at the results. Hopefully should be a positive iRating game. Probably won't be much. 60 rating hopefully will be break even with the 2x, we'll see. Yeah, it's split in half, so 2474 strength of field, so not terrible for only 9 cars, especially for a midday race. I will take that. About 2/10 off in fast lap and average. It was right around that, so certainly could have been a bit closer to both the 1 and the 2 had I not made all those dumb mistakes, but I was not touching either one of them, to be honest. Was not getting there. Just flat out have to go back to school and learn how to drive these things if I want to be able to run better in them, at least this week. So kind of momentum, but it's weird because the car, like, you know, obviously doesn't handle the same as like the trucks and stuff. So it's a momentum learning style, momentum driving style that I've got to learn, but a little bit different. So just for some reason was struggling with it this week. Managed to gain 39 in iRating though, so just under 2,800. Trying to crack that if I can. 0.09 in safety, so just over 2.5. It's been kind of teetering around there, just trying to get some more clean races and get the stats down, numbers down, get a little more respect out there, be a lot cleaner, a lot more competitive, and see if I can get it at least to 3.0 by the end of the season. So it's got to keep having some good drives, and it should get there. Hopefully, a couple different oval series, if I can run clean in those, should provide some added benefit and help it out. So hopefully you guys were able to learn something from it. Like, again, even if it's just doing the opposite of what I did there, hopefully that provided some sort of benefit to you guys. I'll try to get some more competitive oval races next couple days out, make them a little bit better for you guys. That one just, unfortunately, it's 9 cars on a big track with such a big speed difference, was going to spread out, unfortunately. So hopefully you guys found something out of that, and stay tuned for more races. And until the next one, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.